Go.
Ladies and gentlemen, what is going on? Welcome to Flat Out Elected. Man, what date is this? May 3rd, 2017. Special guest Eve Reel, aka Teal Summers, Knowledge Scavenger, Rancan Campbell, Flat Earth. Us Flat Earthers remember the ball earth pain. What's going on, everybody?
What's going on, brother? How are you? Bill, what's up?
I'm having a lazy day, I gotta be honest with you. Just got back from work and yeah, I kind of got the wind taken out of my sail today with all this hate from Christians. So I'm a little tired, I gotta be honest with you. After a week of being bombarded by people telling me they're Christians and foaming at the mouth and their heads spinning around, it kind of takes a toll on you.
It's very interesting in that right now I don't feel the slightest threat from non-Christians. I just don't. I don't feel any kind of reason to be worried about the non-Christian. My spirit is literally on guard and feeling as though it needs protection from people that are claiming to be Christians. And you know what? I love these guys. I can't say I don't love them. I love Shani. I love her husband. I love G-Man. They say things that are untrue. They act as much like the world, even more so than half the atheists that I see. I see atheists that act less like the world than these people. The fiasco last night with G-Man, I mean, he shouldn't have come into a flat earth hangout unprepared. But that's typical G-Man. G-Man, he calls atheist radio shows and television shows unprepared. I think it's almost his thing that he wants to be unprepared and he wants to be treated like a fool because it unfortunately attracts people that like to treat people like fools and they feel superior when they can debate people that are easy wins. It would be no different than Mike Tyson going into a kindergarten classroom and punching out the smallest kid in the room. And this is what he likes. He's got some kind of an interest in being the crash dummy. He's like a test dummy. You know what I mean? He likes being that guy. And him coming in the hangout last night, for me, kind of solidified that belief that, he's far gone. I don't even know that he's capable of being a flat earth believer. As a matter of fact, I mean, I'm kind of like Arcane, I guess, at this point. There are a lot of people in this community that I am kind of really thankful, and I thank God that they're not flat earth believers. If Shani for Christ becomes a flat earth believer, I might have to go right back to being a ball earther. If Thick Shades ever, contacts me and says, "Oh my gosh, I was wrong. It is flat," I'm probably going to lie and say I'm a ball earther because I couldn't be associated to the same level of belief as them. I can believe in Christ if in fact they truly believe in Christ, and still because that's a personal relationship. But flat earth it steps outside of even your personal relationship with Christ, and it becomes a different discussion, obviously, even amongst those that believe in Christ. And so the fact that they completely reject the notion that NASA lies, the fact that they completely reject the notion that the world was actually that kind of deceived. I'm talking like that kind of deceived. We're talking about Satan. We're talking about spiritual beings here. We're not talking about, Joe down the street cheating on his wife and leading her to believe that he's out bowling. We're not talking about, that kind of goofy physical carnal mind type deceptions. This is spiritual. Satan is a very, very, very clever, conniving, and intelligent being. He was the right hand of God. He was the top Cheblium. So what kind of deceptions do you think he's capable of? You really think that fooling us in respects to the shape of the earth, which completely rips Genesis apart, because the ball earth goes against Genesis in a lot of ways. Maybe not so much for the believer. I was a Christian long before flat Earth, so it didn't affect me. But if you remove ball Earth and replace it with this flat Earth that we talk about, it completely puts Genesis in line. It makes Genesis untouchable. And I guess, I don't know. I guess my biggest thing is that I don't understand. Well, I do understand, but I'm just going to say I don't understand. I can't relate to those that don't get it. I can't relate in the sense that this world's deceived. Satan is an amazing deceiver. That's why God has him in the position he has him in. Do you think God, the creator of all things, would have a guy in the position of having to deceive the world that wasn't very good at it? Satan is good. He's good at it. He is amazing. Look what he did. He deceived this world. He's the great deceiver. He's not described as the kind of okay deceiver. He's the great deceiver. He is the father of all lies. He wouldn't know how to tell the truth if he had to. So when it comes to ball Earth, what makes you think he told the truth about it? He has control over every entity in this world. So I'm kind of real happy. I feel for you ball Earthers. I understand your pain. I've been there, done that, as they say. I used to wear the T-shirt. I had the globe. I spun it in the classroom and stopped it with my finger and said, I'm going to go, and then spun the globe and stopped it with my finger, and 9 times out of 10 ended up in the center of the Atlantic Ocean, nowhere near any land, and that's apparently where I was going. But I understand. I understand that you guys are conditioned. It's a deep conditioning. It goes way, way back. It's deep, 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 deep conditioning, and it's hard to break through, but you're not going to break through it if your ego is in the way. So at any rate, we're going to have a decent hangout tonight. I might be in and out. We have Teal here. We have Knowledge Scavenger, and of course, my dear friend, MG Pillbox. So welcome all those that are here to listen and join.
Thanks for having me.
Do you think we could have Rose in here one night?
I think she said she was planning on coming on tonight.
Oh, there's I don't even know what his name is. 11-8 Real? 11-8 Real? Here, let me share this. You guys, if you could do me a favor, share the watch link. Just copy and paste the watch link and share it if you can. How was your day, Paula?
Well, other than that little sniping episode, it was pretty good.
Do you feel like the attacks are going to get worse? Like, you see what's going on and that this channel has become a focus point?
Oh, yeah. I mean, that is expected, I guess. But
oh, my brother Ed, what's going on, Ed? You want to come in and hang out, man? I should have recognized your face. That is you. How are you? Go ahead, Paul. Sorry.
yeah, it's just that one of the person who first came in without an invitation is someone who was, had a bad reputation before, but in a chat room was trying to make amends and asking questions about the Bible and all that. And then he pulls a stunt like that. That's pretty low.
You wonder, what goes on in their lives that's what they need to do, right?
Yeah. I mean, yeah, why do that to somebody? I didn't do anything to him.
What's really weird is that I just had a conversation with P. Mars the other night, reaching across whatever bridge that he's on the other side of, because, he's not really sure why he's there anyway. He's not a flat earther. He doesn't believe in anything that we're talking about anyway, but of course he has to spend his life here. So I talked to him for a good hour and a half. That was on record. He hosted a hangout, and we had a nice talk. And I thought I was getting through to him, at least to have him understand that, maybe he should go in a different direction and not troll as much, or maybe be a little bit more mature, or find something that he could help other people out with. But I thought that we had a good conversation, so I'm kind of surprised. I'm more dumbfounded and flabbergasted of the last 3 days, kind of looking around like, wow, I'm trying to help who around here, and they're acting like just nutballs everywhere. Now I'm just starting to back off and go, wait a minute. I don't know if I want any more people to be a flat earther anyway. Maybe I just need to keep everybody off of it.
Yeah, it seems like every time you try to make friends with somebody and forgive the past and, just move forward, they stab you in the back.
Yeah, I get a lot of that, if you've noticed. I've lost count of the amount of videos done on me. I've literally lost count. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, we've had a few, haven't we, Full Box?
I don't know anybody anymore. I thought I knew human beings, but now I see that I don't know human beings, that I was gullible to think that I could help people when they're not helpable. I thought that I could help people that were insane. I can't. People have lost their minds. They are over the edge of the flat earth and just tumbling to their own destruction, digging their own grave, committing social suicide, committing literal social suicide to show everybody that I have no credibility at all. That's what these people are doing. I've never seen anything like it. I don't even know what to say, because the other night with G-Man, I was just kind of like, I just don't know what to do, because he's killing himself. He's destroying himself, and I usually like to help people destroy themselves, but now it's gone too far. Now I'm trying to stop people from killing themselves, and I can't stop them. That's what it seems like.
Well, I mean, he pretty much made our points for us.
Right. Yeah, that's the thing, is anytime somebody gets in the chat now and says, oh, come on, I'll be good this time, we got zero reason to believe them at this point. They've gone to the well too many times. Sorry, Ray.
Yeah, they're like the scientists. I stopped believing you. Those in the world and of the world are going to get the same amount of belief I have for the world. You can't be in and of the world and have my trust when I don't trust the very world that you are promoting. You look like the world. How can I trust you if I don't trust what you look like?
Yeah, they just have to understand that we're not, we weren't born again yesterday, and they have to put themselves in our shoes and go, how stupid did we have to be to trust any of them? I mean, they keep doing this.
They look like the world, Paula. I don't trust the world. So
Right.
Why would I trust anybody that looks like it, acts like it, and cares to desire or to be like it? I can't trust you. I know what the world is. I don't trust it. Hence, the reason why I'm a Christian, and hence the reason why I am a flat earther. I don't believe anything they told me. I believe Jesus Christ. That's it. That's all. And I'm sorry, if you look like the world, if I don't trust the world, why in God's name would I trust you when you look just like it? For instance, if over the news it came up a man dressed like a clown with red hair and pink sunglasses, carrying a shovel and a army duffel bag, is running around the neighborhood kidnapping children and beating up people. And I see it on the news, and then 20 minutes later I get a knock at the door, and I open up the door, and it's a clown with red hair and pink sunglasses, a shovel, and an army duffel bag, and he says, hey, do you mind if I come in for a while? My car broke down. I just need to make a few phone calls. And no, you look just like what I was told not to trust. So when you look like what the world is, and God said, no, don't be of the world, don't trust the world, and you show up into my life looking just like the world, I don't trust you. I'm shutting the door on you. I got no interest.
Yeah, trust has to be earned. And once you trust somebody and then they betray you, they'll never get it back. It's their own fault.
No, but I do think that there's levels of betrayal to like levels of severity regarding betrayal, because we're all human. We all make mistakes. We all have hurt people close to us and have been hurt by people close to us, right? So it's like a it's like boundaries. How far are what is it that is your boundary of, well, that's it. That's the type of betrayal that will eliminate you from speaking to that person again, because you just simply can't trust them. To me, there's different severities of that.
Nah, I'm done. If you're not a full-blown Christian, and I don't believe that you're 100% serving God, nah, I'm sorry, I'm out. And I feel that way with, I got people in my life that are not Christians, but they're very much like the world. And nah, it's okay. I don't. At this point in my life, I don't need that. So if you're not willing to sit down and listen to me talk about the Lord, and if you're not willing to accept that this world is deceived, and if you're not willing to open your mind to the truth, I don't hate you. I just really, I don't know any reason why I would invest much time into you. I don't waste these pearls on swine. And Jesus Christ said, don't be casting your pearls to swine. In other words, don't just trust everybody with this information. Most of them are going to trample on it and treat it like garbage, spit on it, kick it to the curb, throw it in the garbage, mock you and scoff you. If be smart enough to know who you can trust with this knowledge. So no, I'm not just going to be, I'm kind of like Arcane now in that way. I love you, but I'm not wasting it. My time is way too precious at this point, Teal. My time, God's time, the amount of time left in this thing we call life, I haven't got time to waste.
Yeah, I'm not speaking of necessarily about some of the things that are going on in the community. I've seen some things, attacks on people's family that has nothing to do with what's going on in this community, that really raises a red flag to me and shows me that I can't trust the person doing that. What I was really just kind of talking about just in general, because I know that I've hurt even my family members in the past before, so I'm thankful that they have forgiven me and moved on from that.
Right, but in this case, the sniping this morning or this afternoon, it was someone that had talked to both me and Pillbox at different times and acted all, let's let bygones be bygones and everything's cool, and I was misunderstood, and then he turns right around and does that to us. That's a game breaker for me.
Right, I agree with you. I mean, that's almost even like premeditated deception right there.
Right, exactly. Like it was planned all along to be nice to us and then, wait for a moment to spring the trap. Well, it looks like Pillbox dropped right back. Looks like that John was here and just dropped out.
Yeah, he's having Wi-Fi issues.
Hey, Pillbox.
Hey, what's going on?
You dropping and coming back?
Yep, that happened. Actually, I just hit my voicemail button, so it just shut me off, yeah.
Right now it's like it's overblowing your mic. Like it's overdriving it or something.
You mean it's too loud?
Yeah, it's really distorted, like it's turned up way too loud and distorting your voice a little bit. Oh,
sounds good to me, but here I can come down from here. Let me give you guys control, actually. You guys all have control now.
Testing 5, 3, 1.
Yeah, you're good now.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I'm about to give this up. This is bad.
Yeah, what's going on with that?
I have no idea. Yeah, it takes me an hour to get a link. I don't know. As soon as this goes off air, I just look at it. You know, if I'm not supposed to be on here, I won't come back. I mean, if this doesn't work, that's just a sign to me. You know what I mean? That's the way I look at it.
Yeah, well, we hope you can stay. I don't know why you shouldn't be here. And now Teal just dropped off. I don't know.
Yeah. So John Giscala has a bad connection on the Wi-Fi. Yeah, that's how this works. You're either on or you're not. Yep.
Well, we'll just go with the flow until we can't go anymore.
Yeah, I'm not sure what to do with these people, though. I really am just, because I like solving problems. I love problems, to be honest with you. I love when I find out I'm getting lied to, and I love when I get to expose the truth and all this. But now with the way these so-called Christians are treating us, I'm just kind of in a, it's almost like I want to say shock. Like I'm almost in a state of shock at how they have portrayed themselves, how they've attacked us, how they've attacked the Bible, how they've scoffed the Bible. They didn't just attack me. They were attacking, these people are attacking the Bible just profusely and repetitively and redundantly and habitually. It's this constant knee-jerk reaction to say no to the Bible. I've never seen anything like it. So I'm at a loss. I kind of feel like I'm almost in, I've never seen such a problem like this, that I just know I can't help somebody. I know that I'm literally useless. Like I look at this, like I just can't help these people. That's the way I look at it. I'm shocked.
That's why I've always tried to just argue ideas, just go to my own site and argue against, the claims, the false claims about the Bible or Christians or, chapters of Genesis or whatnot, whatever it is. I just do videos on the ideas, and then nobody has anything to attack except the ideas. If they attack personally in response, and that's on them. But yeah, go ahead, Teal.
I was just gonna say that's the thing, though. A lot of what I'm seeing isn't a type of discussing differences. It's more of wanting to avoid the discussion by personal attacks. That's a lot of what I'm seeing.
Right, it's a diversionary tactic. If you don't have a good argument, you do all the personal stuff. It's an easy distraction.
If you were to just compare it to the way that we talk to the normal scoffer, though, it's much worse. And that's why I'm at a loss. Because I talk to thousands of scoffers, and I love doing it. That's why I'm here. I love talking to scoffers and making bad examples of them and whatever. That's what I've been helping Christians do for a long time. I didn't know that there was going to be a new level of scoffer that was going to be the people that were supposedly my brothers and sisters. So I just realized that things are much worse than I thought they were. And I'm kind of just trying to understand, I guess. I'm just kind of, I'm trying to recalibrate everything now because I didn't know it was going to be this bad. I thought that might get half that bad. So I underestimated it. I really underestimated this as far as what it was going to do to people. I didn't know it was, like I said, I can understand why the atheists would go that crazy. But I never thought that, especially someone that's known me for 3 years, that's used me in his videos, that's asked me to help him so many times, that's lied about me. And, he pulled the chocolate atheist on me, used me for that specifically. I'm sure Eve remembers. That was me. That's when I was new. He used me to do that. I forgave him. I said, no problem. Hey, it's war. All's fair. I understand. I'm a new guy. I forgave. I never even said one bad word to him for that. And to not even give me maybe a little bit of leeway to listen to me, hear me out after the stuff that I've put up with this guy, it's much worse than I thought it was. And I can't help these people. They're gone.
Yeah, all the years in message boards that I was in, it was almost always fellow believers who were my biggest opponents. They would do what they've done to you, which is when they would see me take a stand against some false teaching or an unbeliever, making false claims about the Bible, and they would attack me and side with the unbeliever and, pat them on the back and draw them in and make friends with them and push me out. It happens over and over. It's the sorry state of the so-called Christian community these days.
There's a lot of bad examples, though, and I'm not going to name any more names, but these other examples, and there's a lot of them, though. It's the examples. There's more people against us by far in the so-called Christian community than there are for us. And there's a lot on the sidelines. There's a lot on the warming the benches, and a lot of them holding, their lemonade cups and not saying anything. But as far as how many people are attacking me now, I can't even think of an atheist. I can't even think of a scoffer or the normal person that I'm used to, the space monkey. No, it's Christians now. My mind is completely distracted. I've been wiped clean, and I don't even all I see is Christians attacking this truth, and it's borderline depressing. I never get upset about this kind of stuff, but this is just another level. I don't know. I can't put into words. I think I have to download and process this information for a little while. Sometimes things just take me a while, but this is much worse than I thought. This shows that the deception is so great. You can get people that are claiming they're Bible believers to basically blaspheme the Bible until they leave your presence. So that's it for me.
That's the same thing with the flat Earth community. We're our own worst enemies. We don't, need ball earthers to oppose us. We got our own people doing it.
Yeah, I was getting an argument today with a flat earther. This person kept saying these ridiculous things like, we need a map. I'm like, what do you need a map for? Are you going to fly across the Atlantic Ocean or go to the northern center or go to the south? What are you going to do? Well, I just want to know where I'm at. I'm like, okay, well, a map isn't going to help you know where you're at. A map is going to help you get from point A to point B or C or D. But what does this have to do with maps? Why are people don't even know what this is about? Yeah, you're exactly. These so-called flat earthers are absolutely lost in the sauce as well, and they're not Christian either. There are so many people don't even know what the point of this is. And they go, well, what about, we need a map that explains the celestial pole star. I'm like, how do I know you've never seen that in your life? And of course she comes back and says, oh, well, that doesn't matter though, because other people, I'm like, okay, well, the whole point of this is that we're not supposed to let people tell us what to believe anymore. We're supposed to find it out for ourselves. And you got these flat earthers going around saying, yeah, we have all these problems. What problem is there? The flat earth has no problem. What are you talking about map? Like, well, we need to get a better map. They keep telling me we need to get a better map. This map's not good enough. I'm like, the entire world already runs on flat earth maps. There's not another option. That's the point. There is no alternative. You have to be on an azimuthal equidistant projection or you become out of reckoning. That's the point. There is no other option. So people in the flat earth don't even know what they're doing here either. It's like we're just surrounded by I don't know what it is, but there's just idiots everywhere, and it's getting scary. It's like we're in a zombie movie, and everybody's getting bit, and I'm in a bunker, and it's like, man, you know what? I'm about to just crack this machine gun open, and that's how bad it's getting. I've just never seen anything like this. I know whether it's flat earthers or Christians. I mean, just everywhere. You can't trust anybody anymore.
Yeah, that's what I've been going on about with, like back when the term that Jibby coined, Mandela trees. Where I'm like, well, wait a minute, what happened to healthy skepticism? What happened to the scientific method? How do you propose to go out, for example, and examine these plateaus and mountains to see whether there's evidence of tree roots under the ground? Nobody had any clue. And I said, okay, so you want to go to the North Pole. How are you going to know when you're there? Your compass won't be any good because it'll want to point straight up and down because that's what magnetic fields do at the poles. And then what? You don't know what the deal is, and you don't know, I can't believe anybody would let you walk in. You can't sneak in. They have the poles guarded. And the real only unknowns on the map are the oceans, because you can have people on the continents driving from point A to point B, and the roads take them where they look like they're going. You can follow along with a GPS, like a Garmin or something, and the road is the shape that it's showing you on the screen. So, the land masses seem, at least, by driving, which is the most reliable way we can check ourselves, to be accurate. It's the oceans we don't know about, and the flights, over the oceans. But in every one of these cases, scientific method and doing our own research is lacking a lot of times in our own community just as in the Christian community, there's a total lack of respect for the Bible, respect for the name of Jesus, and fear of God. It's all gone. And I don't know what to think about that anymore. You know, like I said, it's not new, but it's really getting old.
I honestly think we're being put in check. I think we're being shown what it really is right now. And that's why I'm having a hard time adjusting. I think we've been sent to another level.
Yeah, it's the wheat and the tares being separated at the end. And because they're being separated, it must be the end. Just one of many reasons.
Yeah, I think people need to be careful, though, because I do agree with you that people need to be careful, because I think that, you know, a lot of true believers that are the sheep could be deceived by this for quite some time, and could be deceived by the wolves in sheep's clothing as well for quite some time, and might not ever come to the knowledge of flat earth. You know what I'm saying? So keep watch of the wolves in sheep's clothing, but be careful to not judge your brother and sister too, if that makes any sense.
Right.
What's crazy to me though is that I can't blame this topic anymore. It's almost, even though flat earth is the greatest awakening in 2,000 years, it's not really about the flat earth. It's about these people who can't I don't know what the word is I'm looking for. They can't admit that they're these people have, it's the people that are a problem. And this flat earth exposed that. And even good people are lying about us. I mean, people that, you know, Arcane might disagree, but there are some good people out there, I think are Christians that are also lying, that are not on the fringe going lunatic space, going absolutely crazy like we witnessed last night. There's other Christians in the middle that are still lying about us, that aren't even near that level, that are still lying about this, what we're doing right now, everything we've been involved in. They're lying about us. And I noticed that last night in the other chats that were made on top of the ones that we were going through. And I just was kind of it was like another level. Like, I just can't believe this. How are Christians, it's not about the topic. How are you condoning these actions? How are you condoning this blasphemy? How are you condoning the Christians treating other Christians like this? And then of course you're going to go in there and say, this isn't really a big deal, but now it's a much bigger deal, because now you are supporting heresy and blasphemy, and we weren't even talking to you. So this has been blown out of proportion, way worse than I thought it was going to be. And they are the ones that made the flat earth the big deal. It wasn't Rand Campbell and myself. We just wanted to teach people the truth. They came to us, and now they've turned into the Walking Dead. That's the reality. They are the people are the problem. It's not an issue that's going to make somebody flip out, even though it is the pepper spray of truth. These people, there's something wrong with them. I'm sorry. There's something wrong. And I'm not just talking about the scoffers. I mean, I could do this all day with non-believers, and I'd be fine with that. Great. But now that's not even the issue anymore. I wonder if I locked up right now. Eve, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can.
Okay.
I was just
Go ahead.
reading this interaction that I'm having with oh crap, where did his name go? I know y'all know who he is. Bowfish or whatever. He commented on my page, I think.
Oh, yeah, I was talking to family. And
No problem. I just thought I locked up again or something. I'm just, wondering
you're good.
what's.
No, you were good.
All right.
Let's see, who was it? Quantum Eraser keeps saying hi to you in the chat, Pillbox.
What up, Mon? What up, player? Does he want a link?
Hey, Paula.
Yeah.
The other day, I was having a discussion with a full preterist. And of course, they try to chalk everything up to all the end time stuff, to spiritual stuff, unless it fits their view, like the temple falling. So this guy was trying to argue that Adam and Eve would have died anyway prior to the fall. And I said, okay, so you think God created physical death? He would not answer that. I asked him that like 3 times, and he would not answer that. And I know why, because the Holy Spirit was pressing him, It was pressing him, because who would want to say that when that's not true? It's
right.
messed up.
So the thing is, the New Testament says that sin entered the world through one man and death through sin. So there was no death before that sin. And that Jesus is the last Adam, not the last pre-human. So there could not have been any death before sin. And there was no sin before Adam, which is the same argument I use against anybody who talks about pre-Adamic races to try to explain where Cain got his wife, which of course is easily explained by the fact that not every child of Adam and Eve was named, just the ones that are pertinent to the historical narrative.
Right, and it does say that they went on to have more children.
Right, other sons and daughters. You see it all the time.
Right.
But yeah.
Well,
I don't know.
Yeah. Well, I know that it was convicting him to try to admit that that's what he was implying, that God created physical death. Insane.
Yeah, that's the thing also with Calvinism. Basically, they try to dance around it, but they are basically making God the author of sin. And some Calvinists are extreme enough to say, yeah, God created sin. And I'm like, whoa, that is blasphemy. I mean, wow.
Well, do you think, because I've heard people say that they think, God given the choice to sin is creating sin, and I don't agree with that.
No.
Okay.
No, I don't agree with that either, because
the choice to go your own way, the choice itself is not going your own way. You know what I'm saying? The choice, the presentation of a choice is not making that choice. The person who makes the choice is the one that makes the choice. So,
right. I mean, the tree was not put there as a temptation. It was put there as a test. You have to have a choice to have free will.
Free will, right? And that's the only demonstration of true love.
Right. It can't be any other way. There has to be a choice to reject the relationship, or it's not genuine.
Right. Well, I just can't believe that position that he was arguing, because it's so, it just lacks hope. You know what I'm saying? The hope that we have in restoration and at least physical redemption from the fallen creation. We're already spiritually redeemed, those in Christ, but that doesn't mean I'm not waiting for my physical redemption,
Right. So often the people will present a black and white scenario that it's a false dilemma, when there are other explanations, or like I like to say, those who know all the answers haven't heard all the questions. They just don't ask enough questions, or consider other possibilities. It's always this or that.
Yeah, well, I mean, how is it that God would be the creator of physical death when all throughout Scripture we are to look at death, whether it's a concept, physical, whatever, as our enemy?
Right.
I mean, life is the exact opposite. That is what we're supposed to desire, and we're supposed to look at death as our enemy. So who would think that a moral, righteous God would create physical death? It makes no sense.
Yeah, it's just like people think that since everything is a yin and yang kind of a balance, that God needs evil to be good. And I'm like, no, love is complete in itself. Good is complete in itself. Light does not need darkness to exist. Darkness is just...
I think for humans, for us, with our limited intellect, we do need to see the opposites to learn appreciation for the opposites, to learn the appreciation for the good. You know what I'm saying? I think we need to experience the opposites to be able to have a full knowledge of that. But God knows all things. So I don't see that, you know what I'm saying? It's different. It's different when it comes to flawed human beings.
Yeah, but I do think, though, as far as the Garden of Eden and the tree being there, that what the knowledge of good and evil was this understanding of dark and light, and by not just intellectually, just that, I shouldn't do that because God said not to, but by experience, so right. It was an age of innocence before, that you didn't understand these things. It's like the meme on social media, don't make me adult today. I don't want to adult. Well, that's what basically happened to Adam and Eve, is that they,
Right.
they weren't really adults in that sense, But
Right. And we're we're the opposite. We're living that. You know what I'm saying? Um, we're
Right.
we're the exact opposite, where we're not innocent at all. Our works are filthy rags without the Lord, So we're going to come to the point of, receiving his eternal promises experientially with our senses and everything. And understand how much we need to trust his guidance and not rely upon our own selves,
Right. We only have experience with post-fall life. Any of us do. I mean,
Right.
Nobody but Adam and Eve knew any different. So it's really hard. It's just like it's hard for us to imagine the pre-flood world. And it's just tough. But that's why we have to have faith, because there's certain limits to our ability to imagine how things might have been. And we just have
how can we without the experience? That's why, you see in scripture, God using things that he knows we will understand, that's in everyday life and everything, to convey spiritual messages as well.
Right. Hey, Brian.
Hey, how's it going? Give me a second. Let me get adjusted mic again. I'll fix it. Give me a second.
Oh, you used to having issues with that, huh? Yeah, his microphone, for whatever reason, every once in a while, the volume will go maximum, then it'll keep dropping and dropping or something like that, and then he has to reboot or something. It's really weird.
Huh. Might need a new mic.
Yeah, I don't know what all he's tried, but he's computer savvy, so I'm sure he's on it.
I'm actually wanting to get a new mic as well, because this one's only good for talking. I'm wanting to do some karaoke again on here.
Oh,
So,
well, that'd be nice.
yeah.
I'm happy I have a mic at all on my headset. It's broken on both sides, that my husband taped it together with electrical tape, so we're hanging on for now.
Whatever works, right?
Right. It's just a much better mic than the one on my laptop that I use when I don't have anything else.
Yeah.
So is Rand still here? He said he'd be in and out. I don't know if he's still here.
He's on break, I'm sure.
Okay, I just
If
wondered.
he is, he'll pop in. Yeah, as soon as we start talking about him, there he is.
For you guys, I've got my ears on.
Oh, I was just wondering, because I got an email for tomorrow night's thing with Patricia, and I still need to set that up, do I?
Very
Tomorrow?
good.
Well, yeah, I'm talking to her now and just sent her the meme.
Oh, okay.
And told her that you'll be hosting. So yeah.
Okay. No pressure.
And I will be able to be there, Rand, but only for the beginning. I'll be able to be there. Then I got to go to work for about an hour. So, but I'll be there at the beginning. I just don't plan. I don't think that I can imagine her being there for that long, just because she does a lot of hangouts. But so.
Right. So you have something else you have to do too, Rand? Is that why I'm hosting, or just to have somebody else host it?
Oh, I like you.
Okay. All righty. Thanks.
Yeah, I figure, we have Patricia Steer coming on. She's a very gentle spirit. And I think that you hosting it is very appropriate.
That's true. I think she would be more at ease, perhaps. Yeah, I'm looking forward to that. It's too bad it had to be moved, but I'm sure there's good reasons. Maybe we'll have more people watching or something.
Yeah, I had a bunch of things I was going to ask her. People, of course, were telling me, make sure I get some good questions to ask her, whatever. But I was just going to see, because I don't know. I've never really seen her get into a conversation with anybody except for Mark Sargent and a couple other people. and it'd be interesting to hear more about kind of where she's trying to get to and how she got there, kind of deal. I don't know. I guess I'm just curious.
Yeah, you thinking we're basically interviewing her? Is that the intent? What am I calling this? Just interview with Patricia Steer or something like that?
Which it's up to you.
Wow.
I'd make it a little bit less blunt. Give it a little bit of flat earthy. You know what I mean? Like you have to have flat earth in the so I would go flat earth chats and coffee break with Patricia Steer.
Oh, we're gonna work on that, Rand. We're gonna have to work on it.
Yeah, make it nice, like flat earth discussion.
I think
with Patricia Steer, just make it something that's kind of
right. I think
she's a very how should I put it? Well, you know what she's like.
Yeah,
She's
I
very
think
refined. She's very refined and she's very gentle. And so yeah, just kind of make it the hangout title something that would reflect
okay.
the type of conversation we expect to have.
Alrighty, I think chat's a good word for that. It's a relaxing kind of a word and informal.
Flat Earth chat, Patricia Steer.
Yeah, I think that we can go with that. That'll work. Pillbox, I think it's Quantum Eraser is wondering if you sent a link.
No, I didn't. Quantum Eraser, please become a member of Flat Out Elected real quick. I'm not going to put the link there, but that's the only requirement that Rand Campbell has. If you've already become a member, just say so. I'm going to check real quick, and then I'll try to add you to this discussion if you'd like.
Yeah, if Quantum Eraser, you already joined the G Plus. Right. Okay, he says he already did that.
Okay, yeah, I'll try to add him then. But yeah, Paul, I mean, you don't have to worry because I'm going to be there at the beginning anyway. I didn't think I was going to be able to be there at all, so I don't think you'll have to worry about too much because I'm sure that I think it's all about it's trying to get the train moving is the problem.
Right.
So that's what I'll just be pushing that train for you at the beginning.
Okay, that's awesome.
Yep.
And we don't have to run all night. It's just going to be, if she has to go, she has to go, and we'll see what's going on at that point.
Yeah, it's your interview to do what you want. The rest of us will be there to kind of, chime in when we can and ask questions or, be a part of it. But it's going to be more, I want it to be more you hosting and with you kind of, leading the conversation. I want her, if you want to know the truth, I want her to know the Christian side of Flat Earth. I
exactly.
want her to understand why we, unlike most Christians, have come to understand this as a truth. And then she would be able to, I don't know, maybe understand the Bible's indication of flat Earth a little better.
Yeah,
okay.
No doubt. We got some explaining to do. I admit that.
Yeah, I mean, like we were just saying a bit ago, where our Christian community is in as big a mess as the Flat Earth community. So it's going to be a little bit of a challenge, but she knows that there are people in both groups who give the rest a bad name. It reminds me of an old joke about lawyers, like 99% of lawyers give the rest a bad name, but I think she'd totally understand that.
Yeah, and I get a lot of flack about her. I get a lot of people telling me that she's this and that, and I have to keep telling them, listen, if I don't have evidence for that and you can't explain your own evidence, then why are you telling me this? Just because two guys got together and played touch butt for 2 hours and talked about her negatively on a 3-hour hangout, with this jerk face or what's his name, the Matt Boylan and of course, who, like, what is the evidence? Just because two guys got together on the internet who are also like effeminate douchebags. I'm not impressed. I need some evidence, not, you know, not cowards on the internet attacking a woman. Please show me some evidence. If there was evidence at all, I'd know it by now. And the fact of the matter is, if you're presenting yourself in a certain way, it doesn't matter what your private life is. That has nothing to do with what this is about anyway. It doesn't matter what these people do when they're not on the internet. It doesn't matter if their name is different. That's none of your business anyway. And what are you doing? What kind of effort are you putting into this? Because you got to give it to her. She puts a lot of effort into it. So I'd like to help. I'd like to help, Paula, some of these people explain what their priorities should be. That's what my intention is. I'd like a lot of Christians to go, just relax. You're going to be just fine. If you think Patricia Steere is going to ruin God's plan, you're not reading your Bible. So stop worrying about Patricia Steere ruining everything, please.
Those two guys talking the way they did it would be like me and you going, "Hey, Pillbox, I found the curve, you know," and you're like, "Well, show me." I'm like, "Oh, just trust me."
Well, it's worse than that. It's like us getting together and saying, well, Paula's a fake because she uses this Bible, and actually her real name was Pulaski, and, you know, all this other stuff, as if that matters. That doesn't matter.
Right.
If somebody puts work into, that's like a guy going to the job and doing a job for you, or changing your oil, working on your car, working on your house, and then you go, oh, yeah, but your shirt's dirty. Like, okay, well, that's irrelevant. Let's stick to what matters here. People have their independent lives. Are we supposed to be robots? Are we going to cookie cutter everybody into a group? I mean, no. And that's the thing. Christians, I believe this group is the best example that I could ever give to anybody to show people, look how open Christians are. We accept anybody and we will not judge you at all. We won't even condemn you unless you give us a real good reason to do so. And I don't care if you call yourself a Satanist or a LGBT community leader like Nadia Yvette Chambers. I don't care who you are. We're going to be open to you. And that's what I think that we need to do, is we need to show people, like, there's nobody more open than a Christian, a real Christian Bible believing community, period, end of story. There's nobody that's going to have more open arms than us.
Yeah, and people, like we saw this earlier today, will take advantage of that sometimes. But in her case, especially, I keep telling people, even, you know, knowing almost nothing about her in the past, that I don't care if she's a space alien, look at what she's not doing. You know, she's not sniping, she's not doing hit pieces, she's not talking trash about people in the chats. What harm is she doing? What has she actually done that you can point to and prove and say that she's a menace in some way? And nobody ever answered. And I think the biggest menaces, the biggest dividers, are the ones going around on a witch hunt. You know, no matter who it is, there's people who seem to have nothing else to do all day but witch hunts. Those are the real menaces.
The accusers that claim the others are the accusers. That always, when I hear that, I'm like, okay.
Yeah. And on the basis of nothing but suspicion and connecting dots, as if, you know, like a kids connect the dots picture where they don't follow the alphabet or the numbers. You know, they just connect them every which way. I connected dots. Well, yeah, you did, but you shouldn't have. That's ridiculous. I thought maybe Ram was going to say something. His avatar lit up.
What's that?
I just thought your avatar appeared. I thought you were going to say something.
No, I leaned back and my chair creaked.
Oh.
I'm just talking to Patricia Steere, trying to arrange for tomorrow and make sure that, you know, I just, you know, I understand, you know, this community, and we're under a lot of attack. So I'm just letting her know that, you know, we're taking some attack right now. And it'll be nice. It'll be a fresh breath of air.
Right.
Her, right.
Right. And it'll be a night when we won't have any tolerance for people demanding to be on panel, especially if we don't know them. You know, people who are already in the community, in the G+ page, fine, but not newbies, not, you know, people we don't know in the chat, not people we do know that we don't like. None of that.
Yeah, if you want to keep it to where there's no problems, keep it the way it is, and just have you guys ask them questions, you know? Have just everybody on the panel ask questions. That's it. Keep it off the chat.
Right.
Keep it more like a interview type thing.
A couple of us will take care of the chat. Everybody else will take care of the panel, you know?
Right. And I don't think she wants to be on with, you know, 5 or 6 people either. I wouldn't want to do that.
Yeah.
First time.
Because she's got a lot to contribute. If there's a huge panel, it might disrupt from the info that she can, present.
That's why you have like 1 or 2 people off to the side that's not even talking. That just in case something happens, we have we can take care of it.
Right, because we don't want to be too distracted.
Yeah.
So yeah, that'd be awesome.
I can monitor chat tomorrow.
Okay. Well, on the other end, you'd be welcome on the panel too, because have more ladies. Have a ladies' night.
Oh, that's true.
I don't know. I just think that would be more welcoming for her too.
Okay. Well, if you think that's it, yeah, I can see your point.
But we'll let the guys run the kitchen.
What's this guy's name? Quantum what?
Eraser.
Quantum Eraser. Thank you. There's only about 400 billion.
Oh, really?
Hold on. Yeah, hold on.
I didn't know there were more than one. But I do know who that is. He was doing all those hangouts with Cathexis about scientism. So I think he's pretty safe, as far as I know, if that's him. Anymore, you never know.
No, it's like earlier I was popping them away like flies. Even right as they came in, I was trying to bot them at, hit them out.
Yeah, I think I kicked a couple of them they were quick. They come in and you just barely have time to click and ban, click and eject, or what I think is the word.
Mm-hmm. Because if you get to the point, well, never mind. I'll say this off air. Never mind. I don't want to give something away.
There you go. Yeah. Yeah, they sent in the lookout man, and then the rest of them had their fun.
That's okay. I can set up little treats for them.
Awesome. Not a whole lot going on in chat, which is good. It's nice for a change. I know there's a couple other hangouts running. At least there was when this started.
I am so bad at paying attention to both the hangout and the chat. I cannot do it. It's either one or the other. I get silent in the side chat or the outside chat. I'll be talking in here. If I get silent in here, I'm talking out there.
Right, or I'll get mixed up as to which thing I'm replying to where.
Right, you got Facebook, you got the back door, you got the chat, you got the side chat here. That's 4 there, and I got 3 screens. So yeah.
Brian, you're supposed to be on radar duty, bro. Can you get this guy a link? His Quantum Eraser. This is the second day in a row where I can't find somebody's name. I'm operating off of a $20 Chinese cell phone.
If you guys, okay, if you want me to do this and you got to be okay with it, he has to give me his email now. I'll just get the information to him. Now, if something happens, it's not on me.
That's actually a good trade because if you are legitimate, then you're legitimately going to be okay with giving your email anyway. So that's actually the method we should keep, to be honest with you. Mm-hmm. So, yes, you whoever you are, Quantum Eraser, please give Brian your email. We can get you that link. That's the only way we can do this right now because of PMARS and the other trolls sniping the hangout. So I apologize. And hopefully we can get back up and running right later. But as for now, this is the only way we can do this. I'd like to have you on the hangout.
Brian, just out of curiosity, you got the pop-out chat showing? That isn't any kind of a risk, is it?
Nope.
Okay.
Nope.
I'm pretty sure you wouldn't do that if it was.
Nope, I wouldn't.
Yeah, that's the way to do it if we want to show chat to pop it out, because
I could even mask if I needed to that. I could mask all that.
Right.
If I needed
there
to.
It is.
That's just showing the link. It's nothing big. It's what everybody else is seeing anyway. So.
Okay.
So, if you don't mind me asking, Teal, let me know if I'm not allowed to ask this. What's going on with Tanya Galaxy? I haven't heard from her for a little while.
As far as I know, she's doing pretty good, but that's pretty much the extent of my knowledge, and also the extent of what I'm willing to talk about anyway. You know what I'm saying? So.
Well, that's fine, but she's okay though. She's not mad at me or
Yeah.
Ran or anything.
I don't know. You would have to ask her about that.
Okay.
I don't talk to her about that. So.
She does.
Okay, well then, thank you, Ran, for the answer. I just knew something was wrong, but God bless her. I know that she's doing whatever she's got to do, and I hope I can, whenever in the future I talk to her, I'll talk to her.
Well, yeah,
Thank
she
you.
is one of my best friends,
Thanks,
so
Alex.
I gotta stay away from that type of
I was
subject.
looking to do that. I don't know if you saw.
Sorry, we were just talking about getting rid of Quantum Eraser's email out of the public chat, not to leave it up to
Oh, very nice.
Yeah, thank you.
Sure.
Where's Tommy Hall, Ran? I need to talk to Tommy Hall. Give me some hope, Ran. Get Tommy Hall in here. Let's add him to the chat. I'm gonna do that right now.
Here, you want me to give him the hangout in Skype?
Yeah, tell him to come in here. My goodness gracious. Let me talk to this guy.
And Knowledge, will you make sure that I got control?
I'll see if I can do that.
You can.
All right, I click the down arrow, I think. No, I have to do that over on the side. Let's see. There you are. Click the arrow. Share controls. There you go. That should do it.
All the drama. With all the drama lately, who knows if he'll come.
That's kind of why I'd like to talk to him. I'd like to just say, hey, let's just have a Christian conversation, man. I'm gonna add him anyway. Let me add him.
Who's this we're talking about? Y'all are talking about?
I mean, somebody, what'd you say?
Tommy Hall. You know yeah, Tommy Hall, who's a nice guy for the most part. I know he's got quirks like we all do, and some people, just like a lot of people don't like me. Maybe some people don't like him, but I would like to talk to that guy about what's been going on, just because he is not on either side of this, obviously, and he's staying out of it. I'd like to just talk to a Christian without being attacked. That is not a flat earther. It would be nice.
I really like Tommy Hall, actually. I think he's a nice guy.
He is, and he's super funny too. You don't even realize the guy's a comedian. He's a musician. You don't even the first time I met him, I'm like, oh, this guy's a geek. And then a month later, I'm like, my gosh, this guy's got a lot of skill, talent, knowledge. The guy's awesome. Yeah, and I've never seen him get really mad at anybody ever. He never goes full pillbox on anybody. He's super nice.
Yeah, I think so too. I of course, I don't agree with everything that he believes or whatever, but that's with everybody. I don't agree with nobody 100%. So, he's a really nice guy.
Well, that's good.
Yeah. That's the last time I watched a TST show. I went over there because I knew JD was going to lie about Tommy Hall. And I don't know why I felt it my duty to defend Tommy, but that's what, I don't know, I just felt it at the time, so I did.
Yeah, anytime you find a decent person, regardless if you disagree with them on whatever the topic is, it's worth staying with, keeping somebody like that around, because there's a short supply these days on either side anymore. I don't care what position anybody is on Earth shape or anything else. If they're a decent person, I'll hang around with them.
Yeah. Well, I had been in a couple of their discussions that day on Tommy's page, some of the posts he was making, and they were trying to claim he was saying things he wasn't and stuff, so.
think we're all looking at different windows and checking messages. Going all over the place.
Yes, we are. Let me go to Brian Scream the Helm here. Check out the chat real right quick. Got Savvy Steak in there. If you want to be true to equality, then be a humanitarian. Oh, okay. There's Shanna. Hi, Shanna. How you doing? Thanks for stopping by. And Pete Van Veen. Yeah. How you doing? Thanks for coming by.
My chat.
All right. I guess go ahead.
Oh, never mind. I sometimes people talk about something in chat, and I'm like, it didn't even appear on my page yet. Just slow. Too many
you can call Shanna anytime. We got a number on there. Thank you, Shanna, very much. I appreciate that. Got one of Rand's attack dogs. Somebody's attack dog.
Sounds pretty scary to me.
A 10-pound attack dog right there.
Picking my ankles up off the floor.
How many does he have? Sounds like a whole
cover your ankles.
Alaskan Husky sled team.
They make Rand the dog walker. I can see him walking down the street with 10 little dogs pulling his butt.
You know, actually, poodles are pretty strong pullers. There was actually a sled team of poodles once that I remember hearing about.
Oh, that would be funny to watch.
Yeah, standards are big dogs, and they're very strong. That's why poodles are such good jumpers. They have pretty strong legs.
Yeah, that's cool. I had a friend come over the other day, had a little puppy, full-blooded pit bull, blue nose, I think is what she called it.
Okay.
It's cute. She was a cutie.
All right, I'll let you have it.
I just killed the room with that, didn't I?
Puppies and kittens. We don't want to talk about anything else.
Whoops, my bad.
It's okay. After a day like, you know, or the last couple of days, really, I think we're all ready to talk about puppies and kittens.
Oh yeah, I had a like 3 big huge branches off my tree in my front yard break and fall right on my car the other day.
Wow.
Yeah. Like, no.
We've had a lot of strong wind lately, but you know, as far as like if we were to lose power or something, it almost always happens on a clear sunny day. It's weird. You know, we have a terrible storm and nothing happens, but if it's a nice day, all of a sudden there's no power. I hope I made sense with saying that, because I'm like, wait a minute. Did I didn't even match what you were talking about?
Yeah, I had to call the electric company because it knocked down a wire and everything.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah. I was scared it was gonna, you know, I had just got that car. I was so scared it had damaged it. Yeah. And there are some scratches, but it's not real bad. So
that's good.
Yeah, it's not as bad as it could have been.
I don't know if you've seen that pictures of people that have had branches, you know, big tree limbs go over their car and it's bent just so it fits over the car and didn't hit it. I think those are pretty cool.
Yeah, that's wild. Well, I was thinking, well, I guess this is what I get for praying that my faith be strengthened.
Yeah, can we have fewer tests now? That would be awesome. It's been a bizarre year for our family. I mean, starting like almost exactly a year ago, it was like last June, I tore ligaments in my foot. And then the next month, my sister-in-law almost died. She had to have emergency surgery. And then a month after that, my cousin was in a terrible car accident. He's still recovering from. He had head trauma, crushed pelvis, 2 broken femurs, paralysis on the right side. Yeah, still recovering. And then a week before Christmas, we had to put my dog down. And then New Year's Eve, our washing machine died. And already this year, I've had to have 3 teeth pulled. 3 of us had pneumonia. 3 of us had to go to the ER.
Wow.
Our air conditioner died, and now our furnace is dead. And my husband's a handyman. He can fix stuff, but he's at the point, there's certain things you can't do yourself because you don't have the certification or equipment.
Right.
That's how far they are. So we're without heat or air and hopelessly unable to pay for any of this stuff. I mean, I've already, for the first ER visit, I set up a 3-year payment plan. And now we've got another one, more expenses than that and no way to pay it. And it's just been one of those years. I'm trusting God that things will work out somehow, but wow, it's just been a year.
Yeah, my financial situation is actually looking up after years of it being the same. So that's a blessing. But I've had a lot of deaths the past 2 years. And, just Easter Sunday, my sister's stepson OD'd and passed away.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
That's
so
tough.
it's been pretty hard on the family and everything.
We went through that about 10 years ago. We lost my dad, my husband's dad, his mom, or no, it was his niece, his young niece. And then he had a dream that he woke up one morning and told me that he was told that his mother would die and that would be it. And she died. She wasn't even sick that we knew of at the time. And since then, no one has died, even though we've had all those things happen I just mentioned, plus the first thing that happened was one of my sisters had stage 4 ovarian cancer. And she's still with us cancer-free today. It's an absolute miracle. My cousin should be alive, and it's like, well, God made a promise, and it has been scary at times, but
my mom was diagnosed with cancer about 2 years ago, and she's overcome it, thank God. She's clear so far, so.
Wow. That's good.
Yeah.
And my mom she just turned 89. And she's still with us. I mean, her family does tend to be long-lived, but still, if God makes a promise, he's keeping it. And one way or another, nobody's going to die in our family until, Jesus comes. So that's another one of the signs. It's a more personal one, but I'm taking it.
Yeah, I hear you. Did you say it was your cousin that was diagnosed with cancer?
No, my sister.
Your sister. Did she go through chemo and everything, or did she take a different?
Yeah, okay. She did, but she had a rare good doctor who tried a different protocol or something that was not standard. It was not long-term.
Yeah, my mom did it for like 6 months. How long did she go through it?
I don't think it was that long. It might have been 3, but I'm not sure. It was a very different protocol. I don't remember much of the details, but
okay.
But she has had type 1 diabetes most of her life too. And,
oh wow.
Yeah, the first doctor could easily have been sued for misdiagnosing because she had been complaining about symptoms, and the other doctor just kept blowing her off. So, yeah, and it's a miracle she's alive.
Yeah, praise God.
Well, yeah, I'm going to direct this real quick to Pete Van Veen in the chat talking about flat Earth. So I'm just going to address his question right here, asking about circumnavigation. I think he said South Pole. I'm pretty sure. I don't have the. Let me read again, Brian. Where is he? He said South Pole, right? I'm assuming.
I think so.
Anyway, why doesn't circumnavigation of the South Pole, which, okay, we have to assume is the South Pole, prove the ball Earth. Well, who did it? Okay, Captain Cook. And how far did he go? So let's look at the math here. The actual circumference of this Earth is, from what we've told as far as the heliocentric models, about 25,000 miles around on the imaginary line, the equator, which of course is actually the clock track of the sun and moon, as far as the general area, of course, where they fly around. But Captain Cook, he traversed 3 times that distance. So how could the South Pole be 3 times wider than the equator of the Earth? I mean, this is really easy. Once you just think about this for about 30 seconds, why would the South Pole be 3 times wider than the middle part of the pear Earth that they're telling you is your reality? So that doesn't work at all. So the fact that Captain Cook had to travel 75,000 miles absolutely annihilates the ball. That proves a azimuthal equidistant projection. The farther you go out, the wider it is. And that's exactly what you'd expect on a flat Earth.
I think a lot of people just assume that things have been done, and that claims that are made about, technology or advances or discoveries are true just because the people who say them have credentials.
Yep. That's like Charles last year saying, "Oh yeah, we flew over the South Pole." I go, "Okay, Charles, please tell me, because everybody's got to know who this is." I mean, right? The first man to cross the South Pole or the North. I mean, everybody should know who these people are, right? I mean, the guy, who is his name? Lindbergh flies across the Atlantic Ocean, as if that's a big deal. Everybody knows who that, but we don't know anybody who. And he goes, "Oh, it's Admiral Richard Byrd." I'm like, "Wow, that's impressive, Charles. So now you finally figured out who Admiral Richard Byrd is, and now you realize that he went to the South Ring and flew back to South America. Thanks for playing." So I don't know what these people get there. And this is a teacher. This person gets paid to teach, I'm assuming, young people these things, and they have no idea what they're talking about. That's pretty awesome, I think.
Yeah, that was very surprising to learn that someone, a teacher and someone who's been in the flat Earth community all this time, didn't know about Admiral Byrd. That's pretty amazing.
And very telling.
Exactly.
Yeah.
See, someone like G-Man will never know who Admiral Byrd is. 2 years from now, he will have no idea who that guy is.
Or Auguste Piccard. I haven't heard many people outside of the flat Earth community that know who Auguste Piccard is.
Oh yeah, I love Star Trek. I love Star Trek. Yeah, that's what they say.
Even Tesla is not well known.
Tesla, yeah. Yep. Planck, Bohr, a lot of them was only spoken about momentarily, basically, in education. You don't hear about, the problem is you don't hear about the opposition hardly at all.
Well, you won't even hear about stuff like the presidents before the president, the very first president. You won't hear about stuff like that. How many was there? Or
I don't know if we can make that claim, Brian, but we do know that there were obviously other men in leadership.
I get you.
Yeah, John Hanson. John Hanson on the back of the $2 bill, right? The door seam on the left side. So, but I don't know. As far as past that, I don't know. It's all a lie anyway, the way I look at it.
Yeah.
Good point.
Oh, but yeah, at some of these dollar bills, they show the hemp farms. Talk about a stab in the eye of humanity.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there's other people that they're mentioning, some people in the chat, forgotten people in science history, especially. What were some of the ones that Ken Wheeler names? And people don't know who Ken Wheeler is, but he's a Tesla fan.
I'm a big fan of Nicholas Steno, just because I've known about Nicholas Steno for over a decade, and he was my go-to guy for a long time in my battles versus, of course, the uniformitarianistic principles of evolution. Nobody knows that I've never met anybody who knows about this guy, Nicholas Steno. 1669, he was a smart guy. He was so smart, he found a rock, and he found a rock with a shark tooth in it. He was so smart, he knew that the shark tooth did not grow in the rock.
Amazing, isn't it?
He's a genius, man, and nobody today knows that. Nobody today can figure this out. That shark teeth don't grow in rocks, by the way. Yeah, it's a catastrophism, and that's Noah's flood. That's how we have the entire shape of the earth refaced, or the entire top of the earth refaced because of the flood of Noah, and well, half the people don't know about that still. So we're still just trying to get people to understand biblical stories, biblical doctrine. Like, this is history, and there's people in history that confirmed it that they don't tell us about. And then, of course, going to Charles Lyell, we have to free the people of Moses. All these people are antichrists. Shouldn't that be your first hint on who the true God is?
You would think. But it doesn't work out that way.
I'm waiting for someone to show me any foundation of knowledge.
Let's see who we got on panel here. John.
Yeah, I just got in.
Oh, it's a different avatar than I'm used to seeing.
No, that's the one I've had.
Okay.
Yeah, this is the guy from the chat, right? This is the guy, yeah.
Oh, Quantum Eraser. Okay, I'm thinking another John. Sorry.
Yeah, so what's going on, guys?
Quantum Eraser, we're just chilling, bro. I don't think I've talked to you yet, so why don't you just tell us about yourself, man?
Yeah, that's kind of been strange because we've never crossed paths before. I don't know how that happened. Well, I'm a young, flat, non-spinning, domed Earth creationist.
Awesome.
Retired military. Just came into the flat Earth about a year ago when somebody challenged me to debunk it. And you guys know what happens after that.
Yep.
And did about 14 episodes on Cathexis's channel exposing scientism.
Yeah, I watched some of those. I didn't get to see all of them, but I thought they were very well done.
Well, thank you. That's about it.
Wait,
So,
you're the guy
Sorry.
that did the documentary scientism?
No, not the documentary scientism. We had
Okay.
14 episodes going through Big Bang, you know, the usual suspects. Big Bang, CMB, evolution,
Okay.
whatever that is.
Well, I'll have to look you up.
Yeah, it's on Cathexis's channel, and we did the last two was on Steve McRae. He interviewed Dr.
boy.
Mary Schweitzer and Professor P.Z. Myers. So I did a couple episodes exposing them. So yeah, that got me in the good graces of that community.
I might have seen some of those.
They don't speak to me anymore.
No, they don't speak to me either, bro. I got done with them almost 2 years ago, and they wouldn't let me back on because I spent my first couple of years on here beating them with their own stick. And because
Exactly.
I have a couple evolution books myself. That's where I came from, was the creation debate kind of thing. I don't like to admit that I was debating at first, but I was debating. I don't debate anymore. But those debates just led them down a path of destruction. It was embarrassing because they don't even understand their own religion. They contradict themselves too much. Anyway, that's the past. Did you ever what were you a combat MOS?
For half my time, yes.
Did you ever look into radars or anything like that, or?
No, I was 11B.
Oh, okay, infantry. Okay, well, that's one of the things I noticed nobody talks about is radar. And I was learning about that way before I got into the Army, and with the RCS and radar cross sections and understanding, like, they're claiming that radar bends around the ball, right? Of course they have to. They have no choice but to, of course, you go right to magical pseudoscience and think that straight radar beams curve around the ball. Well, if that were to be true, you wouldn't have the actual face of the plane aiming at you. You would be aiming your radar at the bottom of the plane, and it would increase the radar cross section by probably 500 to 1,000%. And a stealth plane would no longer even be stealth at about you could detect it easier the farther it is away, because it's changing angles on you. The radar cross section, as you know, is designed to be as low as possible from a straight on view of the aircraft, its profile. Well, if the radar beam is going over the earth, I'm not getting the profile straight on. I'm hitting the belly of this plane, and we never see that. All radars, no matter how far they go out, they show the radar cross section, the straight profile of planes, and that's only possible on a flat earth. And none of these people, they just are crazy. Like, you can't explain this stuff to these people.
I have a couple easy ones, and I think the majority of people are already onto them. You know, with space, the vacuum being attached to a non-vacuum. It took me about 5 seconds when somebody challenged me. I thought, I couldn't believe. First, I was ashamed that I didn't catch it in scripture. And I shouldn't be ashamed, because I'm still finding things in there after years of looking. I must have read things 10, 25, 50 times, just read right over it and not catch it. But, you know, I was pretty down about that for a while. But after I recovered, I mean, there's easy things to just say, you know, come on now, guys. I mean, some of this is simple stuff. With the vacuum attached to a non-vacuum, I mean, you just can't have that without a physical barrier. It's a law of entropy violation. Dead right there. So everything's space. You might as well just toss out. And one with the Coriolis effect. I mean, it's over. We're not spinning. It's definitely flat and stationary, just like God said.
Yeah,
that whole
Coriolis thing is just ridiculous when you think about it. It's as if the upper half of the sphere spins one way and the lower half spins another way. I don't know how else they account for that, because if they would to say it's just because that's the center of the ball and things split off at the center, you know, for whatever reason, no particular reason, since the atmosphere is apparently glued to the surface, which is why we don't have 1,000-mile-an-hour wind at the equator. So, you know, how does this work? It doesn't make any sense at all.
Well, first of all, which one is it? Does the atmosphere move with us, or do we have a Coriolis effect? Can you make up your mind?
Exactly.
Like, it's just insanity with these. That's insanity. Think about that. Wait a minute. You first told me that I have to calculate, readjust, things like this. Okay, but now you're telling me that no, we don't notice this because everything moves with us. So it's just scary things like that just you're being able to look into the minds of these people, and it's frightening. It's like, come on, can we stick to one of your theories and keep it, please? Yeah.
I ask them that all the time. In fact, I asked them if they say the atmosphere spins with the earth. Well, my first question to them is, please explain east, north, and south surface winds. Because if it's spinning west to east, you don't have north, south, and east surface winds. And number two, please show me the mechanisms where gases are attached to the earth. I want to see the mechanism for that.
Yeah, there's no fluid dynamics or anything they have to account for. It's just a solid mass, apparently, with moving submasses in it. It's magic.
Yeah, it's preposterous. I'd get them with a simple plane flight, and it's from North Carolina to Los Angeles, and the flight times, you know, direct flight from Charlotte, North Carolina, to Los Angeles would be 1.5 hours, and they're both on like the 35th north degree latitude, I think. I'd have to go back and check it, but yeah, it's over. It's over right there.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Paula.
I was just going to say, when you add up all those little things, you wonder how people go through college believing it's all a nice, tight little package. And they get incensed if you challenge them.
Well, you do have doubts. I think people just put it in the back of their head.
Yeah,
well, nobody asks. Who asks?
Nobody, really.
I mean, I never did. I must have flew across the pond 25, 30 times. Never even crossed my mind. I'd always pick the window seat. Never even occurred to me. Never thought to ask. Just took it. It was just like you said. It's indoctrination. You just take it. And like I said, I was embarrassed because I should have caught it in scripture.
That's the thing about it, especially the Bible. You'll see things, new things, no matter how many times you read it. I don't know how that works, but a lot of other things, we're just busy and distracted, and we just don't even think to ask the questions.
You ever get that question? Go ahead, John.
2 days ago. Oh, I'm sorry. It happened to me 2 days ago again. Looking through scripture, I said, I can't believe I missed this. This is all over the place. But yeah, go ahead. Sorry about that.
No problem. No, that's just normal that we're going to talk at the same time. So I was going to say, I mean, my favorite question is, of course, from Christians. Well, show me in the Bible where it says flat earth. I finally found it. I prayed for it for a little while. And I'm sure I'm not the first person that found it. For some reason, nobody in the community that I had spoken to knew much about it. I was actually reading it with a flat earther about a couple months ago, and I came across Job 38, 4, 5, and 6. And literally, God says the flat earth is stationary, in so many words, by God explaining that he stretched the line over the foundations.
Oh, I heard you talking about that before. I didn't catch that either.
Yes, stretching the line. I mean, that really shocked me. I go, wait a minute, what is it? And I'm looking at this, I've never seen it before. I'm reading. I was like, oh my God, look at this. It says, who laid the measures of and stretched the line over these foundations. Right. I'm like, oh my God, it's a line. There's only one option, a flat earth. A line does not curve. There is no other. I'm like, oh my God, it says right here. It says and then it says who fastened it. So in the same breath, 2 sentences apart, it says the earth is flat and stationary. And so that's my answer now. If somebody asked that, look up Job 38, 4, 5, and 6. That's right there. And of course, you're going to accept that, but you know that someone who doesn't want to believe it can't accept it. And they said, no, that line is that's a line on a ball. Like they literally have said this to me. Like, that's the line we put over a ball. Like literally. I'm like, oh my God. Okay, never mind.
You know what? I had never seen that before. I must have read that hundreds of times, and it never hit me too. That's a good one.
Yeah, and I'm sure there's others. I'm sure there's more that we don't know about. I mean, there's got to be at least 100 I've seen, and I'm still learning. I can't remember 1% of the Bible. Paula has been helping me because she is absolutely the best Bible scholar I've ever met, and I've been learning with her, and it's just never ending. It's just like all the time. You're just going to keep finding things.
Well, it's definitely not spinning. I mean, it's over. And the firmament, it's over. And for the flatness, I was using the comparison between Isaiah 40:21, Proverbs 8:27 and 28, and then Isaiah 22:18, where the difference between chug and door. Mm-hmm. Are you guys familiar with that?
No, but continue.
Where he states in Isaiah 40:21, 22, have ye not known, have ye not heard, hath it not been told to you from the beginning? Have ye not understood from the foundations of the earth? It is he that sitteth upon the circle of the earth. So that circle is chug, right? And from Strong's Hebrew, that's circuit, or a compass. And then from Isaiah, from Proverbs, when he established the heavens, I was there when he inscribed a circle on. So those two are chug, right? So the Hebrew definition for that is circle, circuit, and compass. But then if you go to Isaiah 22:18, he will surely violently turn and toss thee like a ball into a large country. Well, that ball is door.
Right.
And ball, right? You see what I'm saying? So if the Lord would have wanted to tell you through Isaiah that the earth was a sphere or a ball, he would have simply said door, right? In the previous Isaiah passage. So,
it's like even in the Greek, the word is balo, where we get the word for ball, and it just means something you can pick up and throw. That's what balo meant, to throw. And so it doesn't use, I'd have to check for sure on the Septuagint, but it doesn't use balo in that passage. You know,
for what passage is that?
The same one that you're reading for the Hebrew. There's the Greek Septuagint of the Old Testament.
Yeah, I have it right here.
Yeah, you got the Greek?
You know what? It's the English translation. I don't have it's not in Greek.
Okay. I could try and look that up. I'll try to ignore some of these windows here and find where my cursor went and look for my Greek Septuagint text. There's a good interlinear site, and I might. Where's the link for that?
Yeah, if you have that, go ahead and pass it along.
Yeah, I got so many documents. It's like, okay, am I remembering this was one on my computer, or did I have a link? I don't remember. I'll have to go hunt for it. So, what was the reference again? Let me try and find that. For the one for the circle.
Yeah, we had Isaiah 40, 21, and 22.
Okay, let me write that down. Isaiah, takes longer to write. I'm not used to writing. 40, 21, 22.
Yep, and then Isaiah 22, 18.
Okay.
And then Proverbs 8, 27, and 28.
Okay. I will look those up in the Septuagint. Because it's harder to find a Greek interlinear for the Old Testament. Those are kind of...
It is. I've tried to find one.
Yeah.
Yep.
But I think I have one somewhere. I don't remember if it's an interlinear, but I have the Greek text. And I'll have to see which word is there.
Okay.
Let me go and look that up. You guys can... I don't know how long this is going to take me to find.
I just want to say something about, since the topic was brought up, Coriolis effect and how they keep changing their minds, what they want to believe. I did find a National Geographic article about flights from Portland, Oregon to Portland, Maine a year ago, and it was really interesting because they were saying that planes have to adjust for the Coriolis effect too. So I said, oh, I'm going to read this. Let me see what they're going to say here. And boy, is it telling. When heading east, they have to make northern corrections, which means they have to make left-hand corrections. When heading west, they have to make northern corrections, which means they have to make right-hand corrections. Yes. Yeah. So the fact that these planes are admitting they have to constantly make adjustments to stay heading east or west is only possible on the azimuthal equidistant projection of the flat plane of existence. I mean, they gave it away right there. It's like, oh no, we have to make the adjustment because of Coriolis effect. No, you make the adjustment because east and west is not a straight line. Thanks for proving the flat earth. National Geographic. National Geographic flights from Portland, Oregon to Portland, Maine have to make northern corrections. So either way, it's out there. The information's there.
Yeah, for the Coriolis effect, I just use it for it. My argument isn't the Coriolis effect. It's the tenets that make the Coriolis effect true. So I use it against them. I just turn it on them.
Right, and of course they don't know the difference between rounds because on the eastern side of weaponry with the Kalashnikov and the Dragunov, you know, the 7.62 by 54.
Listen to
right, hold on. Right, so you know where I'm going with this. The left-hand twist on a barrel is going to make that bullet walk left. And the right-hand twist of the American rifle, the 223 or the 308, is going to make it walk right. It's not because you're in America, it's because your rifling of your weapon is spinning your bullet that way. I mean, come on, let's research these things.
Listen, I was in a unit, and the sniper guys were right down the hall from me for about 5 years, and we cross-trained with those guys, you know, every quarter. And this one time, they took us up to a range. I was in Germany, and guess what they had sitting there? A Dragunov.
Oh, nice.
Right? A 1,500-meter shot. I said, guys, I can't even see that target, man. So we had a spotter out there. And, of course, I missed the first one. It was just too far, man. I came up short. But that's all right. As soon as I seen where that first round hit, I was on it. And let me tell you something. Coriolis effect was never, ever brought up one single time. And those guys, and I hang out with those guys all the time, I never experienced it. And you know, in the 80s, back in the day, that's all we did was live fires. Right? So
yeah, before the pomp and circumstance.
yeah, there were no safety briefings, right? You didn't have to have your safety plan back in those days. Back in the Reagan days, that's all we did was live fires. You know, movement ranges, all kind of things, man. But let me tell you, Coriolis effect, and they always bring it up that they're in the FMs, you know, the field manuals. I tried to tell them, I said, listen, they could put Jimmy Hoffa's burial location in an FM, and he's safe. Because I've only opened the field manual, and I can speak for a lot of people that I only opened it twice. One for the E5 and once again for the E6 board. That's it. And it's telling, because I was in a place also where we would get briefings from guys that would jump the wall. And we used to get G2 briefings from the top, and they used to say that the Russians, that they'd always complain that it was hard to train for the Americans. Why? They don't follow their manuals. So I just wanted to lay that
That's
out
hilarious. Yeah.
So I've heard a lot of people bring the field manuals up before, and it's preposterous.
Well, how come they never even mentioned it once? I mean, when you got a bunch of noobs on a range, wouldn't that be one of the first things you teach everybody? And it's never even brought up. They never even gave us a book. No. They made you sight on your rifle, and that was it. They made you put a couple rounds, and obviously the noobs and the Gomer piles were taking 500 rounds, and it took me 20 rounds. So I hardly got any practice, and they never once say anything about it. No, it's just not existent. And then on the tank range, nope, nothing there either. You can just, you point at the target, your laser points at the target, and you pull the trigger, and it goes straight. Oh, amazing.
Yeah, that Dragunov, you brought back a lot of memories with that one. I'm surprised you said that.
Well, I'm surprised it's that accurate. I didn't know that they were that accurate. I thought that type of boat.
Oh, yeah.
That's completely surprising. I thought you were, talking about 700-meter targets, and you're doubling that. No. I'm impressed.
No, we were going at 1,100 to 1,500 meters. And like I said, those guys back in those days, there were no safety briefings. There was no safety at all. And what happened was I got out of the military for a while and came back in. It changed dramatically from I got out in April 1st, 1992. My memory is not that good, man. I remember that date because that's the day the riots broke out in Los Angeles. That's when I ETS'd the first time. Me and the Army had a rocky relationship, so I got out a few times. Go ahead.
I got the stuff I looked up. I finally found my Greek interlinear of the Old Testament.
You did?
Yeah.
You got a link?
I'm sorry?
It's
a document on my hard drive.
Oh, okay.
I got it originally from a site called the Apostolic Bible Polyglot. I don't know if that's still up somewhere, but I downloaded it.
You know what? I've heard that before.
Yeah.
I had a
link
to that
somewhere still. Yeah, and they had a free PDF of the entire Septuagint, and I grabbed it because these sites tend to disappear.
Yeah, it did disappear. Say that one more time. Say that name again.
Apostolic Bible Polyglot.
Hold on.
Sorry to break in and interrupt. I just can you guys just look at my screen for a second? You guys see what the U.S. is doing in North Korea right now?
Is that right now?
Oh, steaming ships over.
Holy crap!
Wait a minute. Is that are those some sort of smoke screen they're putting up, or is that from fire?
It's a drill they're doing. It's not. It's just a drill.
Oh, I thought that was.
But look what they're doing.
They put the smoke behind them. They're brilliant, man. That's pretty good training right there.
Oh my.
Slaves to the slaughter.
Yeah.
Ooh, that's a big LCAC.
Where are they landing at?
Is that in Korea? They're doing exercises in South Korea?
It says Trump sends message to North Korea. Share this and support. Carolina, come look at this.
Rand, Rose said to hit your picture.
I already did it.
Okay.
It should be fixed in a second. Takes a few minutes for.
Oh, so these are Marines. Those are Cobras.
The US is doing right now is a message to Korea, North Korea.
What's the message? Smoke?
The message is we're ready. Bring it on. It's got over 500,000 views.
We'll see what the Russians have to say about that.
Hey, Rand, I guess I clicked on it and started presenting you, but I guess you got to do it. I tried to present you.
What's that, brother?
You got to present to make sure that everybody on YouTube can see it.
Oh, I thought I was presenting.
You can click on yourself. There you go. Now go ahead and do that one.
There, can everybody see it?
It should work now. It's working. Yeah, there you go.
Nice little osprey death trap right there. Yeah, these are the Marines, the few, the proud, right there. You know, Russia's got some great toys, though, John. I'll tell you, as far as tanks are concerned, I knew right away that if I ever got into a battle, those T-90s and whatever they have, they're just too small and too fast, and we are just bigger targets. And they have so many nice toys. Their helicopters make ours look like child's play. Their fighter planes, their Sukhoi 27s are about the size of a B-20. B-29. I mean, they're just unbelievable, those guys. And they're designed to land on dirt runways and take off, you know, within an hour. They have like half the sortie time, you know, in between. Like those Russians, man. I'll be honest with you. I just couldn't imagine a war between America and Russia because they have so many things that we can't compete with, like in their maneuvers and their Cobra things and the red flag, blue flag. And when I got to the military and found out that the Russians were a lot better. That's what I learned.
Yeah, but their leadership is poor. I mean, once you take out any of the leaders, I mean, speaking from a military standpoint now.
You guys know where this is being, this drill is being operated?
No, I was guessing South Korea, but I don't know.
Is that the one in New York? Near New York?
That's what I was thinking. But yeah, I want to know where this is being done. Apparently,
somewhere in that vicinity, within a state or two, whatever it is.
Look at that, eh?
Well, what happens when they start getting anti-ship missiles launched at their faces? What are they going to do then? I mean, there's only about 1,000 different weapons in the last 40 years that have been preparing for these beach assaults that are a lot more advanced than the Germans on the beach with their MG-42s. I mean, it's going to be a lot worse than a couple of machine gunners up there when they go against the North Korea and the Russians. Yeah, because the enemy's going to explode the water 400 meters in front of you. Okay?
You guys don't know where this is?
I don't know.
I don't.
See, this is what I call pomp and circumstance now, John.
Yep. Oh, nice. Just North Carolina?
Now, a smoke screen before I get to the water? I don't know. Like, I don't know. Before I get to the beach, you smoke screen, or should you smoke screen after?
You know, I guess that's so they, yeah, that makes no sense.
No, it's a smoke for the people behind them. They're
That's the only thing I can
themselves.
think of, yeah.
No, those are contrails.
Yes, that's right.
Are they?
That's perfectly natural.
It's just precipitation.
Those are Kim.
It's precipitation.
That's the black ooze. And it cloned out more boats.
And you get the impression it's just like a scene out of 1984 where the people are watching their telescreens and being told about the great victory that their military has achieved today.
Hey, Rand, when was this posted? I mean, what I mean is, could this have been an old one where they just
shown live? I think here on. Oh no, it was live earlier. I guess it's on Facebook right now. Somebody sent it to me.
I mean, John, nowadays that entire armada, I don't know what to call it, this armada of amphibious vehicles, I mean, the anti-tank weapons will work on water. I wonder what they prep for, because we haven't had a real war with two superpowers forever. I mean, I just don't think any of these tactics work, bro. I think once you have guided missiles and things like cruise missiles, fire and forget weapon systems like that, or even the tow missiles, whatever it is. I mean, they had exosets in the 70s. They had SA-2 guidelines shooting down F-4 Phantoms in the 60s. And what do they have now?
Yeah, that warfare, that's dated, man.
Right, that's exactly right. It just looks like we're a cavalry. That's how you think this is going to work?
Pillbox, exactly. What do they have now? Exactly.
Right, they had Mach 3 missiles before any of us were born that were shooting down fighter planes out of the sky that they gave to the Vietnamese, the SA-2 guideline. The Russians were 10 years ahead of us in missile technology. I don't know why. So what do they have now? I mean, I'd honestly be really curious to see an exchange. I will be the first one to watch that to see what happens.
This is an exercise. Where is this exercise being taken place, Bill?
I think he's right. It might be North Carolina or something like that. That would make sense to me. I don't know.
I was joking.
Yeah, I really think that makes sense. I think that just the beaches of around that part of the United States would be the best way to do it.
I mean, it's just a training exercise. I mean, they do training exercises constantly. So I don't. If it's in North Carolina, what's the big deal?
This could have been recorded a year ago.
Exactly.
Yeah, true. But here's the link.
This is to make people see what they're going to do, see what they're going to say.
Yeah, I think it's more fear porn. I think it's all fear porn.
Just don't say anything about it.
Yeah, we really don't know.
Here, look.
You tell him, Trump.
Well, pretty soon I want to do this Greek thing so I can go to bed.
All right, Paula, let's do that Greek thing. Oh, zoom into that picture of the planes, Rand. Those look like Russians. I can't tell from here. Oh, no, those are American. Never mind. Never mind. Just a bunch of F-15s.
I don't think it says where they were.
Excuse me. I don't know.
Rocket artillery will stop those North Koreans. What are they trying to do? Get patriotism going again? Is that what this plan is?
Yeah, exactly. A little late.